Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really?
All members of staff have already read about...
I see. Well, I'm a little...
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least.
An invisible enemy. Quite a...
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been...
Do you think this hospital can survive the...
We are all volunteers here.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea had...
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing...
Is there...
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated...
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limit.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell and...
He was also very confident about your future.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please...
This hospital is not exactly...
It's not exactly the best situation in London.
Don't be misled by appearances.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander.
Tell me more about...
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree.
Ah, yes, the burden of command.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No.
You've nothing to prove, Dr.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse.
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide-and-seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask... And Mr. Hampton,
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep.
What kind?
Well, you accepted the job from...
Apologies, I've only just met him the one...
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the...
It's right to assume,
You'll get to know him soon enough, and...
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hook.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed.
I'm not sure I understand what...
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed.
So what do you do exactly in the...
I've been an ambulance driver since... Yesterday I got...
You left an infected...
Go there yourself if you want.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation?
It's a
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know.
But you're not defending yourself.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear...
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Doctor.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Well, it's a...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my...
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guessed right, Doctor.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something.
How is your step?
Oh, it's blood.
Can I ask you precisely?
It's the pains.
Who is treating you?
Nobody since the old...
You don't seem worried by...
My face hurts so much.
Can I do anything for you?
Nurses give me a...
Soldier, do you need...
I'm fine.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
They lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds in London at Pembroke.
Dr. Reed. I am Thoreau Strickland. Dr. Thoreau Strickland.
What can you...
Well, it is always...
Do you need help with anything?
Well, yes.
Do you want me to play?
Oh, no, Doctor.
I see. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a...
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation. True? Please, could you tell me...
I'm a great admirer.
What made you choose...
I'm not ashamed to admit you...
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone.
This epidemic may be the century...
I based my technique on my mentor's research.
I'd rather not talk about it for now.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to...
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical...
Harvey Fiddick is a...
What is it you really want?
Fair question.
Tell me, Mr...
Our first diagnosis...
But why would he hide such...
Because he is a proud father.
This personal involvement could also appear...
I agree.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to you, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening.
I don't know.
I see.
I'm Harvey.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm.
I was more curious about what you were doing before.
I'm a carpenter.
Are you...
Well, it's clear that
I won't lie to you about it.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Doctor?
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your...
Strickland and Aykroyd.
What do you mean? Tell me...
My wife died because of me.
You can't hold your...
Of course I...
How could you...
I was working...
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the...
How are your children?
They were smaller then.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I would like to say that...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Doctor.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son.
I'm Dr. Jonathan.
I'm Beatrice.
What?
No.
May I ask if you have an occupation?
I'm a teacher.
Not your enemy. They're here to help you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white.
I see. Don't worry.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them.
Who are you really, Miss Huck?
Is that not enough for you, puny?
I'm curious to know who you were.
No, it was such a long time ago.
I'll leave you, Miss...
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Miss.
Evening.
Sick again.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best read.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the...
She's quite harmless.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed.
In her madness.
So do you let her bite you?
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And
she could decide to bite less.
Then it's another good read.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you, sir?
I really don't want to...
No offense.
You were an officer.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily review.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted.
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night with...
I may have a solution.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly.
The storeroom? Fat chance.
Perhaps I should look there first.
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way, then. Thank you, nurse. I cannot enter.
Last warning! It's an leech! Kill it!
See them fencing work? Filthy piece of shit!